Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Just acknowledge it, knowledge with no scholarships. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Breaking everything down, tech to politics. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. We don't tell you what you want, we just give you what you need. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. News, brews, and views from these Chi-Town streets. Topic Thunder.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. It's Topic Thunder. If you didn't hear the wonderful tones of our friend Biz in the open, yes, the podcast name is Topic Thunder. What does that mean? I don't know. We've been doing this is episode 139.
Seemed like a clever name when we came up with it.
It sure is the most fucking clever name you can think of. But this is episode 139, and I defy anyone to describe fully without 3 paragraphs what this podcast is. And also everybody here at the offices that we're all feeling a little bit under the weather at the moment. So if this seems a little,
I'm using the cough button a lot tonight. I'm just warning y'all now.
Ben's we're so
I'm playing hurt. I'm playing hurt a little bit. I'm not fully injured, but I'm good enough to play, but I'm not 100%.
You show up and nobody knows about it until after the game. So
this is my flu. This is my Jordan flu game.
But this is also, we're telling you up front that
like if it sucks, it's because I'm like not all there.
However, the greatest thing that has come from this particular amalgamation of the podcast is the Thunderdome. That's over there. We got nobody.
Yeah, so far just Mod Jordan in the house.
Mod Jordan in the
but
house.
I imagine there are people. I could see that the numbers are out there. There are people floating.
Everybody's in. Hey, and Chris is okay.
We're gonna start pouring in.
Hey, look, this show's really nothing without you. Like Ben and I.
If you guys didn't show up, we would probably just shut her down.
Or end up continuing the pregame discussion.
Yeah, we would still be just talking about the Blackhawks and Cubs and Bears, and you guys probably wouldn't be nearly as entertained.
Not nearly entertained. However, you are the lifeblood of the television or podcast.
This is kind of like a television show, right? In a way, weirdly. We're on YouTube.
We're coming for you, Batard. We're coming for you, Batard. Yes. But this is it, the podcast, the show. We're on Twitch.
Slanging stories at you.
We fashion ourselves as infotainers, infotenders.
Yes.
Right. Yes. And
we're standing behind the bar, dishing out stories for y'all to enjoy and giving our opinions on it along the way.
As I'm dragging out the open for whatever reason. Hey, anyway, it's the show. Hello. We always open the show with a little bit of a libation. This is the cheap wine episode 29.
Yeah, I'm just drinking regular old water tonight.
Yeah, it's nothing.
No hallucinogenics, no crazy nothing. Just water and cough medicine. That's all I'm on right now.
Funny the difference a week makes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we cheers to you, everybody in the Thunderdome, and we're just gonna kind of move on to the most creative segment of all time. It's headlines. Imagine that. Hey,
getting right to it tonight. I like it.
Yeah, right. No shroom.
Sorry. Maybe next week.
Yeah, a box of Broox wine. If we can throw another B word in there, I like the alliteration more.
Box of Broox brine.
Okay, all right, I'm in. I try it. It's your Costco, thing. To be honest with you, it's just cheap wine. Cheap, good wine. Let's put it like that, right? So weird show. I promise. It gets a little morbid. It gets a little weird. It gets a little outside of the headlines, and that's sometimes what we like to do here. Anyway, Ben.
Yeah.
Have you seen what's going on in Ecuador?
I have not. This was news to me when I saw this in the prep.
This was news for me when I saw it too, because I was like, holy shit. Now, occasionally you hear the stories of South America. Obviously, I think the story goes into it too, but where Ecuador is, pull out your maps, pull out your Googles. It's situated between Peru and Colombia. Ben, can I, a Family Feud style, 1 to 3, what's the number one export from both Peru and Colombia?
Sorry, cocaine,
Cocaine is number one. Do you know the number two?
coffee.
Bananas.
Oh, I knew number 2 was gonna be something very simple.
Very simple, very, and guess what they hide the cocaine in?
The bananas, right? Yeah.
Shipments of the bananas, right?
Yeah.
So apparently there's this one port in Ecuador. Ecuador, I guess, has some lax laws or more lax laws and prosecution against this type of nefarious trade
Okay.
than Peru and Colombia. So they apparently use this one particular port in Ecuador. And it has become like what they call like that the story will go on.
Cocaine banana. Yes, cocaine bananas is a great album.
It's actually one of those rough me ups that you have to blow the dust off of.
Yes, from the 70s. It's rough me up from the 70s. Cocaine banana.
Go figure out what the rough me up is. I
Yes.
dare you. That's another thing I defy you to explain. Anyway, all things aside, the cartels and the mafiosa type elements that are now involved in Ecuador over control of this one specific port are not only Peruvian and Colombian, they're Mexican, there's US criminal elements, and there's also European, because everybody wants their cocaine apparently. And it has gotten so bad, and the cartels have gotten so not only well armed, but so emboldened that they literally started ransacking government buildings, including running into a live television news program.
Yeah, I played the video here. I'm trying to see if they play more of the video. I apologize. I don't want. Yeah, here we
Literally
go.
guns to heads, live TV, folks.
Yeah, watch. Check this out. This is crazy.
City that hosts the government here, the capital of Ecuador, Guayaquil, which is the economic capital of the countries. So the vast majority of the violence we're talking about, Vlad, it really started on Monday after President Noboa, who took office late last year, declared a state of exception, declaring the war, basically a war against criminal gangs in this country, who he says are supported by Mexican cartels. Most of those criminal gangs that he has mentioned and is now calling terrorist organizations, he says President Noboa are supported by Mexican drug cartels.
Yeah, they took over a fucking television station. That's hardcore.
So the president gave orders today to, quote, neutralize criminal gangs after gunmen stormed and opened fire in a TV studio. Bandits threatened random executions of civilians and security forces less than 2 months after he took office. And this dude's 36. Daniel Noboa, I think, is 36 years old. So, all right, that's remarkable in and of itself for a world leader. But anyway, less than 2 months after he took office, he has declared his country in a state of, quote, internal armed conflict.
Jesus.
The crime gangs have also declared war on the government when the president announced a state of emergency following the prison of escape. And this is actually shit. This is a story that I saved, and for some reason I couldn't find, because I was, we need to talk about this. This is crazy. Apparently, one of these cartels gang leaders escaped from prison either a week ago or less than a week ago. We would have probably covered it last week. I don't know.
Okay.
You were on mushrooms, and I don't know.
Yeah, right. Anything's possible.
Right. Yeah, anything's possible. But and in a week since, this has become an absolute state nightmare there, where the government is declaring war on the cartels, and the cartels are going, all right, let's go, and declaring war on the government. And we, in our comfortable America, as fucked up as it is, have no way to relate to this situation unless you watch Fox News, because this is what you think is going on in the streets of Chicago every day.
Right. Yeah, not the same thing.
Not the same thing at all.
I mean, this is crazy. I don't know if you saw that, what I highlighted there on the screen, but they kidnapped a police officer and then made him read a statement, and then said anyone found on the street after 11 p.m. will be executed. Jesus.
The cartels. So now there are police, like heavily armed police. You see the pictures there. The military has been deployed on the streets, and the president's going, "All right, we're gonna take it to you." Again,
So another foreign conflict that we are going to get ourselves involved in. Spreading ourselves awfully thin at this point, no?
oh, Mike, it's not part of a plan. Trust me. Just to if you scroll down a little bit more, they describe the transnational organized crime hotspot.
Yeah.
So there it is. Geography and corruption are among the reasons this once peaceful country has evolved into a hotspot. So there you see, like, it for whatever reason they had lax laws or lax security. They were inspecting things, and it
Look at this. Much of the violence is concentrated in prisons.
well, it's not the only-
460 dead, many beheaded or burnt alive.
It hasn't been good. It hasn't been good in Ecuador, right, for a
No.
long time. And not the only prison story. Because if you think that's terrible, what's going on in the prisons of Ecuador, wait to hear what's going on in the prisons here in the United States.
Yeah, you don't
Teaser.
really
That's what we call that in the biz, folks. Something awful is happening in Ecuador. And again, emboldened extremist groups, mafioso type cartels involved in illegal trade, whatever that trade might be, whether it's drugs or
Guns or
skin
whatever, yeah.
or guns, whatever, being well armed enough and feeling their cojones enough to, like, we could take on your government.
Yeah. Is that right? Ecuador's famous culinary dish is guinea pig. It's weird and different.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
The pretty lady and I last weekend went to Hugo's Frog Bar.
Okay.
And have you ever had frog legs, Ben?
Not knowingly.
Not. Okay. Find a reputable institution. I don't mean going to a gas station and trying.
Give me the gas station frog legs. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Go to a reputable institution and try the frog legs because, first of all, yes, it's true. They taste like chicken. And it's not like they taste like the consistency, the chew, the feel in your mouth is like chicken.
A beefy Cornish hen. That's an interesting way to put it.
Oh, and I've never had a Cornish hen, so I've been told. The frog legs are, when prepared like the way we had them on Saturday. I hope I'm not breaking some sort of weird.
Usually the French are into frog legs, right?
Oh, well, it's not the first time I've had them. Actually, the first time I had them was at a French restaurant because I said, "Well, if I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to hold the French."
Yes,
right.
The next time I go to a French restaurant, I want to try escargot for that same reason.
Right. You want to try what they're known for, right? You kind of had to. I went to Poland. I was like, give me the herring.
Right. Yeah.
That's what they do there. So, holy shit, man. The frog legs at Hugo's Frog Bar.
Yeah. You would think that they would be good. If you're going to have a frog bar, your frog legs should probably be top notch.
But not to think that, like, oh, they've got like frog leg argois and frog leg a la carte. They have frog leg barbecue and smoked. No, they just have it. They have one dish. It's on their appetizer. And then it's basically like a seafood, 2/3 seafood, 1/3 like steakhouse kind of deal.
Interesting.
Fantastic oysters too. Good stuff.
It's been a while since I've had oysters. A long.
Yeah, French frogs. They got that frog in the throat. And you know, sometimes I don't know if it's sadistic on my parts, but I like to bring upcoming world conflicts to the table.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, and we've talked about this, like how it's almost every week. We don't go a week now without describing some sort of escalating conflict. And now we are in a situation here in the Red Sea involving shipping. And if you don't know, I know Ben and I have covered stories on what's happening in Yemen and the rebels who have literally have seized the capital. And we're not talking recently; we're talking like a decade ago.
Yeah, a while. They've been hanging out there for a while.
And I think the story goes on to say there's like 21 million people in Yemen that need what is considered humanitarian aid, right? And it's just basically the basics, right? A tent, some food, some water, something to keep you warm, clothing. That's it, right? The rebels, the Houthi rebels, have a surprisingly large arsenal that they've been firing at container ships and cargo ships,
Yeah.
trying to get through the Red Sea there and cross through the Suez Canal. It shortens the route between Asia and Europe greatly because now what shipping companies have had to do is reroute their routes south of Africa, following the Horn of Africa, all the way back up to Europe. So you can understand now why maybe in 6 months you can't find one of your favorite G.I. Joe classified series action figures on the Target shelf.
Right.
Right? Because it's going to be delayed again. Because these dickheads in Yemen are using drones, one-way drones, specific one-way drones. And what we mean by one-way drone,
Kamikaze drones for
that is a kamikaze effort. That drone there's no intention for that thing to return at all. In fact, the intention has probably a small explosive on it. It is just like the kamikaze, like you said. They've shot ballistic missiles and anti-ship cruise missiles, which is super sophisticated.
Yeah.
A rebel group.
Yeah, and it seems like Iran is supporting these guys. The story noted that the drones that they were using were Iranian design.
So let's again, what we like to do is kind of tie these things together here.
And they're attacking ships that are supporting Israel. That's the
allegedly, but
allegedly.
This last one now, the story that you're saying was just yesterday. Technically, it was posted early this morning. They said we're targeting a U.S. ship now because these Houthis have they were trying to hijack a container ship, like when you see you're driving out a highway and you see the big truck with the big thing, the hitch and like the 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
Container ship full of hundreds of those. That's how big this thing is, right?
God damn.
What's that movie with Tom Hanks where he was the captain and I'm the captain now kind of deal?
Yeah, I've never seen that movie, but I know the scene you're talking about.
That ship, like that type of ginormous, massive ship, right? Hundreds and hundreds of tons, Captain Phillips. Thank you. That's why the Thunderdome is just the best. Anyway, these dudes are shooting and attacking ships now at random, and now have said we're attacking the U.S. because the U.S. is supporting Israel and the Zionist state and all that kind of stuff, which that's another podcast. But at this point, these rebels have already been warned by like almost a dozen countries, like all of our friends, including Canada, South Korea, right, have all said, hey, knock it off. You're fucking up global trade, which is going to fuck up economies, which will fuck up elections.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, you have Iran-based Hezbollah in Lebanon now actively spouting also things that they're going to ramp up their attacks, right?
So call me crazy, Brooks. I might be cutting you off here, but I can't help but think this. I just talked about it with the last year, but it seems like there is a coordinated effort to spread U.S. military as thin as possible. I mean, we know that Iran and Russia are tied together,
China,
and China's tied to them.
North
right?
Korea.
It sure seems like there is a coordinated effort to keep us thinned out and distracted and looking at numerous fronts. Right?
I mean, then to counter, and I agree, and I'm not trying to counter. Also, want to note your professional use of the cough button there. That was really spot on.
Yes.
The radio guy in me is like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that we have the military to do that, but you're right. We're right. We are being tested. Those things are being stretched. Red Dawn, right? One of my favorite movies growing up, Wolverines. Anyway, the idea of that will never happen because honestly, what Khrushchev said back in like 56 that they're going to take over the United States from the inside. That's they weren't going to be parachuting in and coming up through Mexico and invading Canada to attack the United States. They were going to be sending in their operatives to set up operations to bring in pretty women to start dating and then eventually marrying and having children with influent people from business, from academia, from government, and then have those children. So those children are now citizens, and then those children get indoctrined and call me crazy, but we are literally seeing some of these cracks in our pillars of our society right now. Right, we talked last week about the dismissal and resignations of Harvard president Miss Gay, right? And it was largely led by a white billionaire by the name of Bill Ackman, whose wife then got caught in as herself a professor at MIT in a plagiarism scandal, which, you know, these things tend to, like, if you wait long enough, the punchline shows up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So this is just one more of those conflicts that not only testing our military might, but are testing the public's appetite for these types of stories.
Yeah, willingness to support this type of stuff.
And Ukraine is under unprecedented bombardment right now, where it's literally 10 below in Ukraine.
Yeah, that story's kind of taken a way back seat in the last couple of weeks, eh?
That is, again, part of the fatigue, right? Conflict after conflict after conflict after a headline. We're being bullied.
Every one of these puts more distance between Ukraine and the media, right? Like it moves it to the back of the line, so to speak, as each new one comes out.
I wasn't going to do the Secretary of Defense thing.
That was interesting.
We can certainly talk about it because if you're not aware, we don't have a headline or anything, but Secretary of Defense, an important role, apparently had medical treatment, medical treatment, and told a subordinate that you're now the Secretary of Defense, basically, until I come back, but did not alert his boss.
Yeah, and didn't even tell that the person that he put in charge didn't even tell them why he was doing it.
The Secretary of Defense's boss is the President of the United States of America, and I don't know.
It is interesting. It sounds to me more than anything. It was this guy's personal choice not to reveal what was going on with him. But obviously, like when you're the Secretary of Defense, you don't get to make those types of decisions. You got to tell people what's going on with you. And because he had a medical procedure, then was sent home and then was back in ICU because of some sort of complication from
He had
whatever. it was.
a urinary tract infection. He was treated for prostate cancer, which first and foremost, you should probably alert your boss. Like where I work, there's a procedure for that, and we give you the time off for treatment for that type of illness or disease. But you gotta let us fucking know.
Sure, you can't
And-
just dip and
and-
don't tell anybody.
If you happen to be, I don't know, Ben, I don't know, let's just randomly say that you are the Secretary of Defense of the most powerful military unit in the history of humanity.
Yeah, probably a good idea that you inform people of what's going on with your health.
There's a way to keep it under wraps.
Right, you could at least tell the president exactly. If you wanted to keep it, private or whatever, get it. But you
went
have
to Walter
tell.
Reed. It's not like he went to some private hospital. He went to Walter Reed. It's a military hospital in DC.
Right.
So you sought public treatment.
You had to know it was going to come out that you were there.
That's the other thing, right? The just the notion that like I can get away with this. Nobody will ever know.
It's weird. I don't know that I don't know that there's anything nefarious about it, but it is a weird story that he would withhold that information from the president and the White House and those that are on a need to know basis. So
Well, your boss needs to know when you're taking time off of work for whatever reason.
yeah, maybe you don't need to go into details, but at least you need to tell them that you have something going on and that you won't be showing up to work.
If I wasn't going to show up to work for an extended period of time, I'd have to let my boss know. Otherwise, I'd lose my job.
Right, you'd think.
I would get fired.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, where are you?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Crazy.
so I didn't want to. I don't call it a scandal. That's just like an HR issue.
Yeah. This is a scandal.
Is a scandal. Folks, thanks for the segue. We've talked about the NRA. We've talked about the Russian money connection to the NRA. Oh, Brooks, what are you talking about? Maria Butina? We have covered that Black Widow, and I mean the Russian intelligence agent kind of deal.
Not the
Black
comic
Widow?
book character.
Oh, what do you think?
Well, designed after the comic book character.
Thank you. Maria Butina, who was arrested and spent time in jail here in the United States for, I think it was embezzlement and fraud. And then was and spying, I think, too, because there was an exchange with a country called Russia where she landed a very cush job for some reason, not in her sphere of expertise, as hosting a talk show on Russia Today.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Wayne LaPierre doesn't look like a guy that's into some scandalous shit, does he?
So Wayne LaPierre has been president of the NRA for quite a few years, long time.
He's the one that coined the phrase "a good guy." The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
1991, Ben.
Yeah,
he's been in charge of this organization, and it has been just come out, and he is now obviously in court for lavish spending and basically what's amounting to embezzlement, and then incidentally accepting a lot of foreign money from a country that does not at all sound like Russia.
right. And he just happens Friday. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and step down
abruptly.
Mm-hmm.
There, nobody knew that this was going. He didn't. There wasn't a. Well, funny that I would say grooming in the NRA, but there wasn't a grooming of a successor. There wasn't. Hey, there's a transition coming. Hey,
No.
one of the most powerful lobbies in America. There wasn't like, hey, okay, this is going to be the next guy.
Which leads you to believe that the other people on the board of directors of the NRA saw what was going down and were like, you need to get the fuck out of here now.
or he saw it and was like, I'm not going to let you do it, because a resignation can go both ways, right? That's the cool thing about a resignation is it could be a casual agreement between you and your boss to just like, I'm just going to resign and not quit or not be fired.
Right. Whenever you resign, there's usually more to the story there. Yeah.
Right. So, and actually resign fits between quit and fired on the alphabet. So now I'm sure that's the agreement everybody came to. But after accepting millions of dollars from foreign interests.
Make no mistake, Wayne LaPierre is one of the most corrupt people in American politics. And he does fit into American politics. You really need to read up. 1991 was a turning point for the NRA. They went from being more of a advocate for strict gun laws.
Dad from Brooks putting in like it saves your pension. Really interesting.
That is interesting too.
I don't know that he gets a pension from a lobby, but it's interesting to know that, like, if you're a part of a union, if you resign and not quit, you go, oh, okay. So verbiage matters, right?
Oh, 100%. Yes.
So, about $11 million alone for a private jet. We told you guys that Ben was not feeling well, so please excuse the man in a private moment there. We have concrete proof now that this organization is rife with corruption and foreign influence for reasons that are not what we would normally describe as American. And we don't sit here and wave that flag. If you've been here a minute, you know that we're not like, we'll consider all avenues, and we believe in the we're all human beings
country. At our base, right? Yeah, we all start at that base where we're all human beings on some level.
So funny enough, Ben, that this dude could be part of one of the most influential conservative lobbying groups ever, right? In history. Like if they had a scoreboard, these dudes are definitely, the NRA is definitely like in competition for number one.
Oh yeah, they're one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful lobbies on the planet.
So here we have their former chief of some almost 35 years?
A long fucking time, yeah.
Who's stepping down in light of allegations of embezzlement and accepting foreign influence. Who's their boss? Let me tell you this. He's not only a scientist, he's a magnetist. He's a waterist.
Okay.
He knows how to command a crowd. And this man knows how to quench a magnet.
What? What the fuck does that even mean?
Almost $1 billion cost overrun on the magnetic elevators. Think of it, magnets. Now, all I know about magnets is this. Give me a glass of water. Let me drop it on the magnets. That's the end of the magnets. Why didn't they use John Deere? Why didn't they bring in the John Deere people? Do you like John Deere? I like John Deere. It didn't work.
What is he babbling about?
See, this is the thing. This is why the national media has earned its black eye, because every headline you see regarding the president, let's just be honest, the main two presidential candidates for the upcoming election, it's always Biden's age, Biden's acuity, Biden slurring his speech, even though he has a stutter. Biden this, Biden that, right? Biden talking crazy, Biden drifting off, Biden like walking off the stage. What you're kind of seeing here with Trump, literally, is him literally thinking that you can end magnetism with water. Let me tell you, folks. I hope we all know. Chuck, thanks for joining us. I hope we all know that you cannot prevent magnetism with water. That should be a PSA for the program, actually. Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot prevent magnetism with water. It doesn't work like that. But here he is telling you all I know about magnets is, why didn't they pour water on that? All right, okay, fine, right? But that's the X guy, and that's who those people like kind of worship. You okay, sir?
Yeah, much better now.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right.
I ran out of Kleenex and I needed to blow my nose again. So.
Absolutely, man.
No, but like, so I apologize, but we talk about him often, but Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan had a guest on a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, where they play a video of Biden making fun of Trump for his airports during the Civil War gaffe. And both Rogan and the guest played it off like, oh, this senile Biden. Did you hear this senile Biden guy talk about airports during the Civil War? And then when they found out it was actually Trump, they completely changed their tone. Oh, well, he just made a mistake. He just made a mistake in his speech. It's a double standard that they're doing with these two guys.
And we look. I don't really know what the end result of this show is and what the epitaph of the program will be. I hope that it is we presented that the information war as honestly as possible. Look, there was a time, if you rewound this program and added a few people to it, we were bowing down at the throne of Joe Rogan. Like, this guy knows how to host a podcast. He asks all the honest questions. He's one of us. He's a dude. He's like, all right, cool, right? Funny
Pre-pandemic, yep.
I don't know if something happened to Joe Rogan or something happened to us. I don't know.
Maybe a little bit of both. But
okay, fair enough. Just split it down the middle, right? Just to move on from the question. But
he went. I think it's more. He went down the anti-science rabbit hole very early on in the pandemic. You can go back and listen. Right when the pandemic first started and COVID first was a thing, he took it very seriously. He had a comedian by the name of Michael Yo on. Very, very like in the weeks, and Michael Yo almost died from COVID. He was one of the first people that, like, famous people that got COVID that almost died but survived. And he had Michael Yo on after that. And then within a week or so, he had a couple of guests that were conspiracy minded, anti-vaccine, anti-science, and he's pinpointed this before, but he got caught up in the misinformation deal of he got convinced that COVID came from China, was released from a lab in China, and he's not been able to let that go, and that has shaped everything. And so then he got into the echo chamber of only having guests on that were willing to reciprocate the thought process that he was. And his show has become a very repetitive type of thing. It's just a different guest, and they banter the same banters.
It used to be so good.
He doesn't press people on things. He doesn't look into things with a more critical eye anymore. He takes whoever's sitting across the desk from them. He takes them at their word and does not at all push back on their narratives and just accepts their narratives. And that video that's out about him, and I think it's Bo Nickel is a perfect example. They were all ready to jump down Biden's throat and call him senile. And then the minute, it's amazing to watch, because the second they find out that it was actually Trump that made the gaffe,
it's like,
their entire tone changes. Their entire tone changes. And it's so obvious that he has gotten caught in the vortex, and he does not have on anybody, very, 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 very few people that will push back on his narratives. He'll have Mark Maron on right? Mark Maron is about the only person that I've seen that has gone on that show and been anti-Trump and pushed back and not let, like, he had a great discussion, Mark Maron did with Joe Rogan, where they were talking about how Joe Rogan says to Mark Maron that Joe Biden is the biggest liar that's ever been president. And Mark Maron was like, are you kidding me? Like,
Oh Jesus!
Donald
Shit.
Trump existed, and he starts counting down the lies, and it's just they don't see what Donald Trump does as lies. They don't see what he says as lies, even though when they're proven, they excuse them by saying, "Oh, it was a gaffe." Not that the fact that this guy is mentally unfit. He thinks that magnets can be stopped with water.
That was his words, not mine.
The video was there. We saw it. Crazy.
Yeah, I just sent you a link. No rush on that. But if you want a palate cleanse, the link I just sent to Ben, I think can do a little good. Kind of bring us out of this like weird thing, because I'm going to take it in another weird space. But who here in the Thunderdome? And hey, while you're doing that, look, Courtney, we are
welcome back.
Well, we are so grateful that you're okay.
Yes,
that you're here joining us in the Thunderdome, which is the most unimportant thing in the world, but means everything to everybody, as you see in the Thunderdome. We are grateful again for your health, and hope everything kind of is behind you in that.
And I don't know why. Oh, here we go. God damn it! All right, you stalled as long as you could, and I finally have got it up. What is this link that you just sent?
Who's in the Thunderdome? Who's roller skated before?
Oh man, it's been a long time, but that used to be the spot. Like back in the day when I was in junior high, that was where you went on a Friday and Saturday to hang out with all the other kids from school. Was
back in the day?
Back in the day, yes.
Oh,
is that still a thing?
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O Double G, but I somehow, some way keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. May I kick a little something for the G's and make a few ends as I breeze through.
All skate.
Still jumping cause my mama ain't home. I got bitches in the living room getting it on, and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So what you wanna do? Shit, I got a pocket full of rubbers and my homeboys do too. So turn off the...
I didn't know that was still a thing. I would
well,
never have guessed.
Of course it is. And let me...
that roller rink, the roller rink in my hometown burned down because some stupid kids decided to burn it down one day.
Look at the crowd. Look at what's going on in the background there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's tons of people.
But everybody's into it. And let's be honest, like we're looking at what a minority crowd. That is largely a black or a person of color crowd, right? Like they'll take anything white people like, oh, this is cool for a little bit and forget about and move on from, and they'll make it cool again.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And that's why, like, I don't know, I may have said something stupid there, but I think that's really fucking cool, is that they're like, oh yeah, okay, check this out.
Yeah. Taking something super nerdy and making it cool.
Roller rinks are alive again.
Really? That's crazy to me to think about that.
Who wants to go roller skating? I do.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I don't know that I want to go roller skating anymore. My roller skating days are behind me.
I like to risk it. And
speaking of risking it,
don't go to prison.
Well, yeah, for a multitude of reasons, but this is another reason.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons, but especially maybe in Alabama, where now the second case of an inmate has been found not only dead, but with all of their organs removed.
What?
St. Clair County, Alabama. News has obtained court documents revealing another case of a deceased Alabama inmate's body found missing organs. The body of Charles Edward Singleton was returned to his family, missing all organs, including his brain.
What?
Now, did you really return the body if it was missing all organs?
Yeah, no. You returned a husk.
Singleton died on November 2nd in 2021 in the custody of the Alabama Department of Corrections. He had been housed at the Hamilton Aged and Infirmed before he was sent to an outside hospital for care prior to his death. According to a statement from a family member, UAB's Department of Pathology performed an autopsy. The family then requested the body be sent to a funeral home in Pell City. Great town, hello. The funeral director told the family it would be difficult. Hold on.
Ugh.
It would be difficult to prepare his body for viewing since
See,
it was already
I imagine
in a
Paul
noticeable
Bearer saying
state. Oh, okay. Oh, it would be difficult to prepare a body before the viewing, for there was already noticeable states of decomposition. The funeral home characterized it as advanced skin slippage.
Which is also the title of an amazing Rough Me Up album. Little known underground Rough Me Up album from the 80s.
I think
Advanced
that was,
Skin Slippage.
I think literally that was their pushback, their punk pushback against the the English influence of
Yes.
the time.
Correct. Yeah.
It was advanced skin slippage.
Yes.
They literally thought, "Fuck you, Duran Duran. This is advanced skin slippage." Yeah,
Yeah,
ass. Well, for you folks listening, the spine of the CD would have said ass.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it would have. Yes.
Welcome to the show, Billy Weck.
Mm-hmm.
The family, according to the court filing, was then informed that there were no organs in the body.
We don't know.
Can play I'm imagining like a church organ being played right now. It was explained to them post-autopsy that the organs were usually placed in a bag and put back in the body. The family was also informed that their brain was removed.
What the fuck?
Singleton's family requested UAB return the organs. Bring those organs back.
We want his brain.
Bring his organs back. Bring his... I mean, I'm making light of something that's absolutely terrible.
But yeah.
Carte blanche. Singleton's family requested return to organs, but they reported they never received the organs.
Jesus.
We have been unable to reach Singleton's family for comment. Again, the second case of this in this prison.
Jeez. Nothing to see here. Once is a coincidence. Once is like, okay, that's just like a one-off, like a weird, like, okay, maybe they forgot to put the bag of organs back in the body, right? Like, but two, like, and now there's a like a theme going on here.
Do you want to skip the dog and move into the?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Hey. And cheers to the Duran Duran references in the chat room right now. Thank you for that. There was a little incident on Capitol Hill today. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of surprised.
There was a House subcommittee meeting regarding Hunter Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Out of nowhere, Hunter Biden unexpectedly showed up for it.
Just showed up in the crowd. Wasn't even like, I thought like he was supposed to be there. Like when I first heard that, in our private conversations, when you mentioned that he was there, I thought he was meant to be there. Like he was going to testify. No, this was totally 100% like a like a PR/power move by Hunter Biden.
Oh yeah, and he has the advantage in this regard. Let's recall that this specific House committee is the one that specifically requested Hunter Biden testify and subpoenaed him and to testify in closed door, not available to the public testimony, which if you've been paying attention, the GOP lies a lot about.
Yes, yeah. If I'm Hunter Biden, I feel the exact same way.
Hunter-
I want if you want to talk to me, let's talk about it in open where everybody can watch on C-SPAN and everybody can make a decision for themselves and not have it edited or misinterpreted or lied upon. Yeah.
Right. That is exactly what he did. He basically put his, I guess, considerable member on the table and said, let's not do it in private. Let's do it in public for everybody to see. And the Republicans were like, whoa, 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 whoa. Are you denying a subpoena? This has been going on for some time. This little meeting here today was specifically about Hunter Biden not paying attention to his or allegedly adhering to and respecting the law and appearing for his subpoena. Right. That's the pretext to this whole thing. It gets really fun after that, especially if you're a fan of interesting, like House subcommittee drama.
Man, C-SPAN is almost becoming must-see TV when they have these things because it is almost comical. Like, Britain, they have their parliament on and they televise it a lot, and it's pretty wild what goes on in Parliament, right? And we are having our equivalent of that these days with all of these different hearings and all these clips that come out from these public hearings and different things and the grandstanding that goes on from all sides involved when they use these like pulpits, for lack of a better word, to they're not even, it's not even about what is there. They want to use their 5 minutes to make their 15 minutes to go viral, so to speak. That's like the new thing for Congress people and representatives to do is they want to use that 5 minutes that they get to go viral. Right.
And a lot of Republicans have been very successful in that regard. Like, and it's a shame that the Democrats have not been able to catch on. However, what we're about to witness, thanks to C-SPAN, is if you edit it the way we're about to, and thanks to the Topic Thunder production team, if you're about to edit it like this, who wants to sit through 3 hours of a House?
Nobody has time for that, really.
Nobody wants to do it. Nobody should do it, right? So here is okay. So first of all, Hunter Biden shows up. It freaks everybody out, right? Mm-hmm. Him and his lawyer and some dude in an awesome burgundy blazer. I don't know. Nobody,
is that jeans? Is he wearing jeans?
The dude is wearing jeans, a sports coat, and a button-up shirt. Where
to Congress.
Absolutely. And it has some of the best reactions, honestly. So the squarest jaw of any male human in at least the last 172 years.
The guy in the red blazer has some Neil Young to him.
Some Nick Nolte.
Yeah, a little Nick Nolte meets Neil Young. Yeah.
Right. So the other two gentlemen there, obviously in the middle, Hunter Biden, and then that's his attorney on the other side with the blue tie, the bright blue tie. On the left side is James Comer, who's a bag of fun in the first place. So Hunter Biden shows up unannounced, just shows up pay attention to wrestling. It's like, holy shit, Sting just showed up on the roster. Like, what? Yeah. I don't know. It's like all of a sudden he's there and there's a match going on. There's literally a match going on. Sting shows up. What the fuck? Right? That's what just happened. It literally boss move, sit down, almost front row. And the most entertaining thing that's probably happened in the last 70 years goes on in this particular subcommittee meeting. And we're going to kick it off when Hunter Biden sits down for I don't know how many minutes to see a lot of things and deliver a lot of stares. But the second the microphone is given and her 5 minutes is given to the representative from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who famously showed Hunter Biden's nude pics and dick pics in the same committee, in the same room. Hunter Biden. Well, I guess let's the video show.
Gentlemen, time's expired. Chair recognizes Ms. Green from Georgia for 5 minutes.
Like as soon as it,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently, you're afraid of my words.
Whoa! Oh!
All of these
I'd like
words
to
will enter
reclaim my
into the
time,
record
Mr.
of
Chairman.
Burst their bubble. Wow, that's too bad.
yeah, like she sees that as some sort of like she won, and it's like, no, bitch. Like he totally made you look like a fucking dumbass. Like he made a point at your expense.
And what he also did is took all of the cameras out of the room off of her. And that was the boss move of boss moves.
Yeah, and wasted her time, right? Her literal time. Like there's a time limit on how much time she has to talk.
5
right?
minutes to talk.
Yeah. It's not, oh, you're afraid of my words. No, bitch.
No, you showed my private pictures in Congress to try to peg me for something that it's the eternal rabbit hole because you can't provide actual proof. So what literally transpired after this, I'm absolutely responsible for editing and showing you like these clips. But let me tell you this. You're going to think, and we've shown Jamie Raskin before. Jamie Raskin is a fucking beast.
Yeah, he is. He's not afraid to speak up and fight back against the right wing.
Jamie Raskin is a wordsmith and is a clever, witty motherfucker.
Yes, he is.
However, this show will wrap up with cute things, right? But the penultimate video will be from a Congresswoman Crockett.
Oh, Jasmine Crockett's my favorite. I fucking love that woman.
Absolutely puts a cherry on top of
all
the
she's
hysterics.
So good. You talk about a wordsmith.
So
that woman has a way with words. Oh, I can't wait to get to
accountability. In other words, you should not be standing in judgment on contempt of other people who allegedly have violated their subpoenas when you have violated a subpoena and have not complied with the orders of the U.S. House of Representatives. Accountability. In other words, you should not be standing.
Okay. So I actually put that in there because that's pretty lame, but the graphic is phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
The point is being made. Yeah.
Okay. So let's flesh out some details. This is Congressman Jared Moskovich, who fills in a little more verbal detail regarding what it should be.
Sorry, it just takes a little finagling.
These things take time to load, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But again,
listen, I'll make this bipartisan. I'll vote for the Hunter contempt today. You can get my vote. But I want you to show the American people that you're serious. Here is the subpoena to Representative Scott Perry, who did not comply. I'd like to enter this into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mark Meadows. I'd like to enter this into the record, who did not comply. Here is the subpoena to Jim Jordan, who did not comply with a lawful subpoena. I'd like to enter that into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mo Brooks, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mr. Biggs, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. And here's the subpoena to Mr. McCarthy, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. There's an amendment coming to add some of those names into the contempt order. You vote to add those names and show the American people that we apply the law equally, not just when it's Democrats, right? It's a crime when it's Democrats, but when it's Trump and the Republicans, it's just fine. No, show that you're serious and that everyone is not above the law. Vote for that amendment, and I'll vote for the Hunter Biden contempt. I yield back.
There you go. Take that,
sucker. So again, of course, I'm showing my bias here, but it's the owning then of the Democrats, of the Republicans. When the Republicans say something, the Democrats have the best response.
Well, yeah, because it's so easy when when the hypocrisy is so obvious and out there that they don't even deny the hypocrisy. That's the best part, is that they're that's the, I guess, not the best part, but also the worst part about it, is because all this calling out, they don't, the Republicans don't see it as a
shame.
calling out of my hypocrisy. No. They have in their own minds justified that it's two different situations. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
Well,
Even though like they got billions of dollars from the Saudis, the Trump family did. We don't worry about that, but we're worried about Hunter Biden and how he got money.
all the money from China.
It's the same argument, but two different perspectives on it, and it's just based on your political affiliation.
So I believe it's Eric Goldman has a discussion with the chair of this particular subcommittee, James Corner. I'll let this 10 seconds kind of show you what's what.
That you didn't say. So I went back. Well, you've had a hard time understanding what a shell company is, but anyway, go ahead.
Well, you would know, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
So that you didn't say.
Let's watch it one more time, because like
So I went back.
Go ahead.
That you didn't say.
He thinks about it and no, fine. You can see where he thinks about it, and like, wait, are you talking to me, motherfucker?
Wait, you of all people saying what?
That you didn't say. So I went back. Well, you've had a hard time understanding what a shell company is, but anyway, go ahead.
Well, you would know, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
And the only thing Comer says, well, yeah. And well, okay, point proven.
Right, like you've got nothing to come back. Yeah,
nothing to come back. So
there's our boy Raskin again.
Another clip from Jamie Raskin. Again, like that dude knows what he's doing. He's been doing it a while and suffers no fools. Watch his facials.
Connolly for his indulgence here. Our good friend, the gentlelady from Georgia, referred to the murder of Ashley Babbitt. Well, the Department of Justice, the United States Attorney, and the U.S. Capitol Police Inspector General all rejected the idea that there was any
Point
murder.
of order, Mr. Chairman. Or inquiry.
There's no such thing.
There's never been a court hearing.
Mr. Chairman, we agreed.
Michael Byrd was never charged.
Reclaiming order here.
Connolly for
What
his
the
indulgence here.
fuck?
So, okay, let's be very frank. These discussions and these hearings have a very outlined procedural kind of structure, right? There are things to say when you object to things and have things stricken for record. There's a way to do things in these particular proceedings if you know what to say and if you know what those words mean. This is the difference between a practiced lawyer and experienced politician, legislator.
Right.
And somebody who's kind of in it just to kind of win the big bear at the carnival.
Right. To get it, again, go viral.
That's it.
That's all Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to do, is say things that will make her go viral on social media.
Raskin's, because he knew exactly what she was trying to do and what should have been done, and was like, Jesus fucking Christ, don't you know the rules and policies of your fucking workplace?
Yeah, no. And the answer is no, she doesn't.
The answer is no. However,
here we go. Main event time.
We don't show a lot of what goes on congressional floors.
I'm a huge fan of Jasmine Crockett. She did take some PAC money when she was elected to her seat, which is like the only blemish that I could find on her. But she was part of the Friedman She got a lot of money from that Sam Bank Friedman or
Oh,
whatever.
I mean, everybody did.
So she's not squeaky clean, but
Nobody is.
Nobody is. You can't get to that spot. It's very, very few are.
Are you without sin?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, and she did acknowledge that it wasn't a direct donation or anything like that. But whatever. This woman, we need more of her in government. She's a lawyer, well spoken, and she takes no bullshit. She sits around and does not listen to other people's bullshit at all. So I haven't heard this, but I guarantee it's fucking fire.
And from your neighborhood, a Democrat from, of all places, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, Jasmine Crockett.
And juries are comprised of American citizens and the people that have entered pleas of guilty that will be flipping on your leader in a minute. 6th. They are Republicans. I do want to point that out. And half of them were Republicans that were handpicked by Donald Trump himself. So, to be clear, whatever happens to your little leader, it's going to be because of the actions that he took. So you can talk all you want to about how January 6th was nonsense, but all of y'all were running at that time. Y'all were grabbing y'all's gas masks, and y'all were running to your offices because you didn't know if they were coming to kill you. You should have cared that somebody was there to protect you, but instead you want to play games because you found out that it was your leader that decided that he wanted to propagate an insurrection on our country. So don't tell me that you care about the Constitution, because you don't. All you care about is Trump getting reelected, and I'll yield the last of my time to my leader.
Thank you very much, Ms.
Fire. Woo! I'm telling you guys, go to YouTube and just type in Jasmine Crockett. That lady, when she gets her 5 minutes, she does not fuck around with her 5 minutes. And ever. Whenever she gets her turn, she uses every second of it and just spits fire.
This whole meeting took so many turns, and obviously was a Hunter Biden contempt of Congress. That's what the meeting was about. But it spilled into something obviously way different.
Yeah.
And again, these are the people fighting for the things that we still kind of like believe in. I don't mean to sit there and wave a flag and be like this and that, but the conversations we're having, the thoughts that we're able to agree or disagree on, the ability to do that without punishment or state repercussions is real.
Yeah.
It's real. And I'm sorry, I know you were trying to say something, I cut you off.
No, that you're absolutely fine. But to Billy Wack's point, if you watch that video, and I think that was a video from a different point, a different hearing.
Was it?
It may have been. But that's okay, because the point still stands.
Shoot.
But to Billy Wack's point, yes, she is good. It doesn't matter if all the MAGA losers intentionally are on their phones during her bomb drops. And if you look, when the camera shifts and she's pointing at the other side, it's half empty. Like the Republicans, once they get their 5 minutes in and they get their viral 5 minutes, they bounce right out of there. They don't stick around to hear the other side correct them. You're absolutely right. It does fall on deaf ears a lot, but you have to hope that there's some American public that sees these clips. And I'm telling you, Jasmine Crockett, you need to go.
And Jamie Raskin too.
Yeah, both of them.
Again, that dude was fighting cancer while also being one of the lead prosecutors during the January 6th trials, which, by the way, the Congress of the United States made overarching efforts to provide everything to the American public, including dicing it up into episodic things.
No, okay, I am seeing other video. So that was from today's.
I thought that was like usually the timeline that I was on is okay.
But there is I will tell you if you look up on YouTube, there is a 3 minute and 48-second video of her entire speech. Because that was just a clip of about 1 minute from her 5 minutes. She goes fucking nuts. I mean, it's 3 minutes and 48 seconds because she at the end she yields some of her time over. She doesn't even need her full 5 minutes to get her fucking point across. But yeah, she's amazing. So yeah, definite big fan of Jasmine Crockett here.
we love Jasmine Crockett. So,
You know what we also love?
I love
Baby rhinos.
Well, yes, it's just like it. It's like a little puppy dog.
Right. If they never got bigger than that, again, I think I might own one.
Like holy shit! But that thing's a fucking a direct relative of the dinosaur, and will grow up to like almost 5,000 pounds, and most of that is armor plating for skin. With devastating horns, it could probably run like 30, 40 miles an hour, and if it ever
And there it looks like a goddamn puppy.
look at he's like so happy. Again, that's from the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust in Kenya, Africa, where they do amazing things with not only elephants, but obviously rhinos, wildlife. They mean it. It's a beautiful charity. It's a beautiful thing. It's probably the biggest charity we've probably shown on the show. If you're not following the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust on your socials, please do. Those clicks, those likes, they matter. For anybody who gets the social media thing, the more engagement you provide a subject, the more fame and likelihood that other people are going to see it. Right? That's the algorithm. That's the world we live in. We also live in a world where lightning and thunder combine to form a lightning round. That's what we call this segment, ladies and gentlemen. It's my dad's, it's my pop's favorite segment. And folks, let me, if you're new to the show, first of all, shout out to the world's most dangerous chat zone, the Thunderdome. That's over there. If you're new to the show on the Twitch, the YouTube, the Facebook, or whatever, you're picking up the signals from deep outer space. Welcome to this segment. Let me explain the rules here. 3 stories enter the Thunderdome. 1 gets read, and that story is chosen by you, the people. So without any further dilly or dally, and we certainly respect all the Thunderbolts and the world's most dangerous chat zone, the Thunderdome. Without further dilly or dally, ladies and gentlemen, it's headline number 1. Florida man goes fishing in Bass Pro Shops pond and flees with a live 50-pound fish.
Leave it to Florida man.
Always. Oh no, this second story. Wait, hold on. Wait, there it is.
That's great though. The idea, because I've seen those big tanks with the fish, and I've always wondered, like, has anyone? Now I know someone has just tried to take off with the fucking fish.
Oh yeah. This next story. Oh, Business Insider.
Florida man is the best, dude. The lightning round couldn't exist without Florida man.
For some reason, this Business Insider story is giving me the subscriber all kinds of.
Boo.
Right. Let me try to find the headline. I can at least read the headline. Pastor tried to push head of McDonald's cook into a deep fryer. Yeah. And if we want to get to that story, I might have to become a Business Insider subscriber.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to. Headline number 3. Washington woman, 62 years old, granted court permission to have her dead husband's sperm extracted.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you're gonna have to say that. I did find an alternate alternate story for the North Carolina pastor. If we go with that one.
So why don't we immediately? Aaron's like number 2. There's no doubt.
Oops.
Send it to me, or you can read it. Why don't you read headline number 2, Ben?
North Carolina pastor arrested after trying to push McDonald's employee's head into deep fryer.
Doesn't seem very pastor-esque.
That is pretty incredible.
Headline number 3 was, again, Washington woman, 62 years old, granted court permission to have her dead husband's sperm extracted.
Wow.
So let's not forget headline number 1. I just got jumbled and jangled.
Yeah.
Headline number 1 was Florida man goes fishing in Bass Pro Shops pond, flees with 50-pound fish.
Ryan Hansen with his alternate headlines: Bass Pro poacher, pastor fryer felon, and dead cum. Yeah.
It's
Number
terrible.
2 seems to be running away with this one.
As I'm perusing the old the world's most dangerous chat zone here.
And I'll send you the link of the story because it looks like number 2 is going to win.
We're counting votes right now. All votes matter. It's, let's see. We're of course as I'm doing. Chuck Davis is still awesome. Thanks, Chuck. Exactly right. Billy Wax in asking the pertinent question like, why would a 62-year-old woman want with her dead husband's sperm? Ma Jordan agrees there. Data from Brooks. Oh yeah, this.
Yeah, 2 is running away with it.
This is obvious here.
Yeah, because that's such a ridiculous thing. Like a pastor is supposed to be like a very peaceful. The Australian guy chiming in. We haven't seen him all night, and here he is. Also voting for number 2.
You folks have voted, and we respond. That's democracy. North Carolina pastor arrested after trying to push McDonald's employee's head into deep fryer. Dwayne Hayden, the pastor of the Elevated Life International Ministries.
Elevated Life, yeah.
Elevated Life International Ministries, the Elam? Yeah, I'm looking for the acronym. Anyway, in High Point, was arrested and charged with misdemeanor and simple assault. According to the High Point Police Department.
I was hoping there was
North Carolina civil rights leader Reverend William Barber is calling for education and awareness about
a manager in training at McDonald's on South Main Street, we've all been there, said her employees were disrespecting her, and she called her husband to assist her. Her husband, 57-year-old Dwayne Waden, entered the business.
Player.
No, close.
Right.
It could be Waden or Waden, Waden, Waden. He entered the business, went around the counter, and placed his hands around the neck of the victim, pushing his head toward the deep fryer, according to police records. Waden also punched the victim several times in the face and did not stop until employees pulled him off the victim.
Wow. What would Jesus think?
The Mick Christ is like, I want that. It's a fish
that's one
sandwich.
hell of a baptism.
It's fish sandwich in a shape of a cross. The Mick Christ. I'm in. This is
filet-o face.
Face. Mick choke. This is why the most dangerous chat zone in the world.
That's why you guys are who you are. Yes,
absolutely. The victim suffered large contusions to the forehead and right eye, along with scratches along his neck. According to police, medic responded, but the victim chose to let his family take him to the hospital for injuries. Waden, the pastor of the Elevated Life International Ministries in High Point, was arrested and charged with misdemeanor simple assault. That's not so simple.
Yeah, you almost pushed my head into a deep fryer. That's
right.
More than simple.
You almost made him a filet-o face. According to police, he was released on a $1,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in court on January 22nd, which means we might be able to follow up on this story.
I don't think that is fair punishment. $1,000 bond
just to get out.
Tried to shove a man's head in a deep fryer.
I mean, it was premeditated too, because
disrespecting your wife. Like, what does that even mean?
Again, premeditated. So there's intent there.
Right. Your wife called you. You drove down there and you had time to decide in that drive what your course of action was going to be. And in that course of action, you probably prayed on it, I would imagine, right?
I would hope so.
And God told him to go around the counter, choke the man, and try to shove his head into a deep fryer.
See, he's probably an Old Testament God, because that sounds in line with the Old Testament.
It does, actually. Yeah.
Right? Like hellfire and like that's it's grease, boiling grease. Same thing. Who's the judge? Not God. Not a pastor. Anyway, folks, Thanks. Seriously, every week, you guys light up our life in the chat zone, and it's the greatest thing ever. And the best jokes in the world come through this place, and we are eternally grateful. The show's called Topic Thunder. We're on the YouTubes, we're on the Facebooks, we're on the Twitches, and again, shooting out way out in the deep space, like V'ger deep space. Star Trek reference.
Yeah, Super Wrestlers does need Florida Man to make an appearance. I agree with Courtney on that.
The next Super Wrestlers is March 10th, Mario Day, just to let you all know.
Isn't that lucky how that worked out?
There might be a video game tie-in. I don't know. Those guys are crazy. But we're crazy too, and we're crazy about you. And we do this every Wednesday, and we appreciate you. So, folks, from USS Rapapa, I'm Brooks. That's Ben. It's been Topic Thunder. Mwah.